Rukmini had always been a strong-willed woman. She had raised her son Rohan on her own after her husband passed away when Rohan was just a child. She had worked hard to provide for him and give him the best possible life. When Rohan announced that he was getting married to a woman named Priya, Rukmini was overjoyed. She had always wanted her son to be happy, and she could see that Priya loved him deeply. However, as Priya moved into their home after the wedding, Rukmini began to realize that she had to adjust to a new dynamic. Priya was a modern woman with her own opinions and ideas, and Rukmini found herself struggling to adapt. At first, the tension was subtle. Rukmini would make comments about Priya's cooking or her household management, and Priya would try to brush it off. But as time went on, the comments became more frequent and more biting. Priya tried to talk to Rohan about it, but he would often side with his mother. "She's just trying to help, Priya," he would say. "She means well." But Priya knew that Rukmini's intentions weren't always pure. She could see the way Rukmini would look at her, the way she would criticize her for every little thing. One day Priya had had enough. She sat Rukmini down and had a long talk with her. "Mother, I understand that you're used to doing things a certain way," she said. "But I'm your daughter-in-law now, and I deserve some respect. Can we find a way to work together and make this household run smoothly?" Rukmini was taken aback by Priya's assertiveness. She hadn't expected her daughter-in-law to stand up for herself like that. But as she looked into Priya's eyes, she saw something there that she hadn't seen before. A deep love for Rohan and a determination to make their marriage work. From that day on, Rukmini made an effort to change. She started to see Priya in a new light, as a partner rather than a rival. And as she did, the tension in the household began to dissipate. As the months went by, Rukmini and Priya grew closer. They would cook together, go shopping together, and even have long conversations about life and love. Rohan was happy to see his mother and wife getting along. He knew that it wasn't always easy, but he was grateful that they were trying. One day, Priya gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. Rukmini was overjoyed, and she became a doting grandmother. She would spend hours with the baby, playing with him, feeding him and singing to him. As she looked at Priya, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. Her daughter-in-law had brought a new sense of joy and purpose into her life, and she was grateful for that. From then on, Rukmini and Priya's relationship continued to blossom. They would have their disagreements, but they would work through them together. And as they did, their bond grew stronger, a testament to the power of love and understanding. As the years went by, Rukmini and Priya's relationship continued to grow stronger. They would often have deep conversations about life, love, and family. Rukmini would share her experiences and wisdom with Priya, and Priya would share her own thoughts and perspectives. One day, Priya approached Rukmini with an idea. "Mother, I've been thinking of starting my own business," she said. "I've always been passionate about cooking, and I think I could start a small catering service." Rukmini's initial reaction was skepticism. "Priya, you're a mother now. You have a family to take care of. Are you sure you want to take on this responsibility?" But Priya was determined. She had been thinking about this for a long time, and she was convinced that she could make it work. Rukmini saw the fire in her eyes and decided to support her. With Rukmini's help, Priya started her catering business. Rukmini would often help her with the cooking and managing the business. Priya's business took off, and she became known for her delicious food and excellent service. Rukmini was proud of Priya for pursuing her dreams and making them a reality. She realized that she had underestimated her daughter-in-law's capabilities and determination. As Priya's business grew, she started to receive orders from all over the city. She would often have to work late nights, preparing for events and managing her team. Rukmini would help her with the children, giving Priya the time and space she needed to focus on her business. One day, Priya received an offer to cater a high-profile event. She was thrilled but also nervous. Rukmini saw the worry in her eyes and reassured her. "Priya, you've worked hard for this. You can do it. I'll help you every step of the way." With Rukmini's support, Priya pulled off the event flawlessly. The client was thrilled, and Priya's business received excellent reviews. As they sat down to celebrate, Rukmini turned to Priya and said, "I'm so proud of you, Priya. You've achieved so much, and I'm grateful to have you as my daughter-in-law." Priya smiled, feeling grateful for Rukmini's support and love. "Thank you, Mother. I couldn't have done it without you." Their relationship had come a long way, and they had learned to appreciate and support each other. They had become more than just mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. They had become friends. As Priya's business continued to thrive, she started to receive recognition from the local community. She was featured in newspapers and magazines, and she even received an award for Best Catering Service in the city. Rukmini was overjoyed to see Priya's success. She would often accompany Priya to events and help her network with potential clients. Rohan, Priya's husband, was also proud of his wife's accomplishments. He would often help Priya with her business, offering his expertise in marketing and finance. One day, Priya received an offer to partner with a popular restaurant chain. They wanted her to create a menu for their new outlet, and they were willing to pay her a handsome fee. Priya was torn. On the one hand, it was a great opportunity for her business. On the other hand, she was worried about losing control over her brand. Rukmini saw Priya's concerns and offered her advice. "Priya, this is a great opportunity for you. You can negotiate the terms of the contract and make sure that you're comfortable with the partnership. But if you're not feeling confident, maybe it's best to wait." Priya took Rukmini's advice and carefully considered the offer. She negotiated the contract and made sure that she was happy with the terms. The partnership turned out to be a huge success, and Priya's business grew exponentially. As Priya's business continued to grow, she started to think about expanding her operations. She wanted to open her own restaurant, but she was worried about the risks involved. Rukmini saw Priya's passion and encouraged her to take the leap. With Rukmini's support, Priya decided to open her own restaurant. It was a huge success and people raved about her food. Priya's business had come a long way, and she was grateful to her mother-in-law for her unwavering support. Rukmini smiled as she watched Priya's success. She had learned to let go of her need for control and had instead chosen to support her daughter-in-law's dreams. Their relationship had grown stronger, and they had become an unstoppable team. As Priya's restaurant continued to thrive, she started to think about giving back to the community. She had been fortunate enough to achieve her dreams, and she wanted to help others do the same. Rukmini saw Priya's passion for giving back and encouraged her to start a program to train young women in culinary skills. Priya was hesitant at first, but Rukmini's enthusiasm was infectious. Together, they started a non-profit organization that provided culinary training to underprivileged women. Priya's restaurant became a hub for the program, and the women would come in to learn and gain experience. The program was a huge success, and the women who went through it started to find jobs in top restaurants and hotels. Priya's restaurant became a symbol of hope and empowerment for the community. Rukmini was proud of Priya for using her success to make a difference. She had always known that Priya was a kind and compassionate person, but she was amazed by her daughter-in-law's dedication to giving back. One day, Priya received an award for her philanthropic work. Rukmini was in the audience, beaming with pride. She had never felt more proud of her daughter-in-law. As they walked home after the ceremony, Priya turned to Rukmini and said, "Mother, I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've been my rock throughout this journey." Rukmini smiled and hugged Priya tightly. "You've come a long way, Priya. I'm so proud of the woman you've become." Their relationship had evolved into a beautiful friendship, one that was built on mutual respect, trust, and love. They had learned to support each other through thick and thin, and their bond had grown stronger with each passing day.